Do you want to know how to make money for your nonprofit? There is one thing you are completely missing, which is keeping you from making money. And I'm especially talking to you new nonprofits, you small nonprofits, because most of y'all do not have this one thing. I'm Tiffany with Boss on a Budget. I teach people how to start nonprofits and raise money from the ground up. So let's talk about the one thing you're not doing, which is keeping you from making more money. And it's actually creating a budget. Now, before you turn off this video because you're mad that I'm talking about a budget, I really want to explain to you why. I have 3 reasons why a budget can help you make more money. And let me just clear up what a budget is, because I feel like I have to explain this whenever I talk about budgeting. Because a lot of times when I ask people, okay, what's your budget, or do you have a budget? Their response to me is always, well, we don't have any money in the bank, so we don't have a budget. We just spend what we can, and when we get some money, we spend it. That is literally the same response from 90% of the people that I talk to, who either they've just started a nonprofit, and even for some people who've had a nonprofit for years and years. But I'm going to challenge that, because I really do believe that because you don't have a budget, you're holding yourself back. So let's talk about why. First, you need to have a goal in order to reach that goal. So what people miss about budgets is that it is an aspirational plan for the money that you plan to raise and the money you plan to spend in the year. Your budget is actually your goals in numbers. So if you sit back and say, in 2025, we want to serve this many people, or we want to provide this many services, or have this level of impact, and you're quantifying that, then you can actually translate that into numbers to figure out how much it costs to do that, and to figure out what you need to raise and where the money needs to come from to do that. And that's the key piece that's missing. A lot of people just do what they can. If they have some money sitting in the corner, or somebody happens to bless them with some money, then they'll do a service. But unless the money's coming out of their pocket, some stuff is not getting done, or you're stressing yourself out or burning yourself out because you don't have the money, and people are still knocking on your door, right? And you're not going to turn them away, because how could you? But it leads to burnout, and it leads to stress. What I would encourage you to do is not let your organization run you, but you run your organization. You decide the number of people that you want to serve. You decide how your weeks look. If you do food distribution, you decide how many people you can serve. You decide that. Now, it may not be that you can serve everybody, but it's a start, because here's the thing. If you know that you can only serve 50 people with what you have, then your ask to a donor or your ask to a grant funder could be, help us serve even more people by giving this amount. Help us serve 20 more people by giving us $1,000. See how when I made that concrete, it's a challenge to those people to help. But if you are flying by the seat of your pants and you're just saying, well, anything can help, then any number of people are going to be helped. You have no idea how many people you're going to be able to help, and you're going to be stressed out. So I really do encourage you to start writing down what your goals are, what you want to achieve, and put that in numbers, and then challenge yourself. Once you see it in black and white, how much it really costs to run your organization, then I challenge you to go after funders and donors to make up the difference. That's their job, to help support your organization and make it run. But if they don't know how they can help or how much to help, then they can't help. Here's the second thing I want you to realize. If you are looking for grant funding, which I know most of you are, they're going to ask you for a budget, period. If you're going to ask for any significant amount of money, they're going to ask you for a budget. And most people, the first time they write a budget is because it's for a grant. Because you're going to the application and you get to the point and it says, please attach your operational budget. Please attach your program budget. And what happens? You're stuck, because you're like, well, I don't know what to put here. We don't have a budget. But your grant writing process will be less stressful if you from the beginning already have a budget in place. See, your board, a couple months before your year started or your fiscal year starts, you should be voting on your budget. You should be voting on how much you plan to spend and how much you need to raise. That should be an understanding already with the board. It should not be a document that changes significantly. You know, it will change and fluctuate because you're new or you're small. I get it. But it shouldn't change significantly during the year, or you shouldn't be creating a new budget every time there's a new request for funding. You should know and speak with confidence when you're talking to a grant funder and say, this is how much it costs to run this program, or this is how much our organization needs to scale, or if we want a building, this is how much it's going to cost and this is our plan. You look so much more organized. You look so much more together when you can do that and present a budget. And here's the thing, a grant funder wants to see your budget because they want to see where they can fit. Most grant funders do not want to fund your entire budget. Most people don't realize that, don't understand that. They don't want to be the only organization funding your organization. They want to know that you're looking for resources in other places just besides them. And the budget helps outline that for them. The budget helps see where they can fit. And if they know your total budget is 100, they're probably not going to give you 100. They may give you 20, they may give you 15. So you got to understand that going in, right? And if you know that, then you can start planning for how to supplement that. Well, we can get 10,000 from this foundation and we can apply for 15,000 from this foundation. It just puts you on much more steady ground when you understand where your money is coming from. And a budget does that for you. Now, if you're listening, you're like, Tiffany, this sounds so good. Yes, girl, I need a budget. But then you're like, well, how do I create a budget? I don't know what to do. I recorded a video that I'm linking above. And if you need even more help, where you can look over my shoulder and see how I created a budget from scratch and also created a sample grant budget, then comment budget masterclass. You can purchase that. It's a reasonable price and you can start creating a budget today. That leads me to my third point. I think this is the most important and this is the one you're going to feel the most. Having a budget will help prevent you from spending all of your own money. It will keep you from having to pay for everything out of pocket. Because here's the thing, when you don't have a plan, and like I said earlier in the video, if somebody just reaches out for help and you're just trying to help everybody, then if the money isn't there in your nonprofit's account, then where is the money coming from? I already know it's coming from your paycheck, or it's coming from your Social Security check, or it's coming from your pension check. I already know. I don't even need you to tell me. And that's not sustainable. That's admirable. That's amazing, and we thank you for the work. But I firmly believe that you don't have to be a martyr for your organization. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to sacrifice so much just for your organization. Because if you're not around, if you're not healthy, if you don't have what you need, how can you continue to be around for other people who need you? And when you're taking everything from yourself and not pouring into your own self, your family, your household, it burns you out. I'm just going to be honest. I've talked to lots of founders. I've been doing this since 2016. And there's no reason for that. You don't have to die for your mission. You don't have to. So creating a budget, as boring as it sounds, creates a strong line. It says, this is what we plan to do. This is what we can do. And even if you can't help the amount of people that you want to help, like I said before, then that's a challenge for a donor, or that's a challenge for a funder. It's not always a challenge for you to cough up more money. It gives you even more ammunition to go to those people and say, we can increase our impact. We can do even more with your help. And that's how you phrase those asks. You come with them with numbers. You tell them we can help this many more people with your support. You can make it happen. That's how you phrase those asks. Having a budget positions you in a much better way when it comes to fundraising. So if you didn't get anything else from this video, just know that if you want to get better at fundraising, you want to make more money with your nonprofit, start with your budget and then go from there. If you need help with your nonprofit, visit me at bossfromthebudget.com. And as I mentioned before, check out this budget video because it'll walk through the steps for creating your first budget.